Hi! So, good day everyone. I am Princess Marity Bocanya from BSE2K. So, now we will be tackle about Lesson 7, which is Risky Behavior of Adolescents. So, it is the risk behaviors or harmful practices that we shouldn't need to do. I'm here to make us inform and learn on what are the some risky behaviors and on how to prevent it. So, what are the risk behaviors of adolescents? Behavior like unprotected sex, alcohol and drug use, dangerous driving, illegal activities, truancy, and fighting. So, good communication, rules, role modeling, and monitoring can help to keep risk-taking teenagers safe. So, here are the lesson objectives. When you finish reading this chapter, you should be able to first understand the risky behavior of the growing adolescents. Second, identify trouble signs that can lead to risky behaviors and its complications. Third, discuss how to avoid risky behaviors. Let's moving on for the definition of terms. First, the risk. It is the probability that a hazard in the environment can actually negatively affect the individual. And risk-taking, a behavior of doing something regardless of potential loss. So, majority of the youth mature successfully through adolescence without apparently long-term problems. All adolescents should be considered at risk due to the prevalence of risk behaviors. The inherent developmental needs of adolescents and the various risk factors for their initiation and maintenance. Risk-taking is a normal part of adolescent development. Risk-taking is defined as participation in potential health-compromising activities with little understanding of or in spite of an understanding of the possible negative consequences. So, adolescents experiment with new behaviors as they explore with their emerging identity and independence. The concept of risk has been established as a characteristic that exposes adolescents to threats to their health and well-being. Young people may be exposed to similar risks but respond differently. Some may not sustain any physical or emotional damage while others may be affected for the rest of their lives. The challenge for health provides is to distinguish between what may be normal exploratory behaviors and those that are health compromising. Health behaviors in adolescence continue into adult life and will influence health and morbidity. Throughout life, during adolescence, young people begin to explore alternative health behaviors including smoking, drinking, alcohol, drug use, sexuality intimacy, and violence. So, in this slide, the Department of Health in its Adolescent and Youth Health Policy in 2000 It is has identified the following health risk: substance use, premarital sex, early childbearing, abortion, HIV or AIDS, violence accidents, malnutrition, and mental health. So, in this slide is the guidance of the family. So, guidance of the family is also important as the adolescent develops into a mature adult. So, here is the image of McCann Erickson. Let's move on for the 2006 McCann Erickson study. This study is the family arrangement. So, as noted that 5% live without the mother and 20% live without the father, and the 23% live without both parents. And lastly, 53% of adolescents live with both parents. Let's come now for the data on non-sexual behaviors, where adolescents engaging in vices such as smoking and alcohol drinking, and showed the adolescents is the fourth highest in the country, who are currently smoking in 20.7%, and the adolescent is likewise the fifth highest in the country, who are currently drinking alcohol beverages in 38.9%. More than 3 in 100 of adolescents have used drugs, and below the national average, while greater than 8 in 100 have ever thought of suicide. This has decreased from 2002 to 2013 compared to the general population. Those who attempted suicide decreased to 2.4% below the national average. So, in this slide, we can see the sex and media. So, sex and media have been identified as the key influences among adolescents engaging in high-risk behaviors, as shown in studies in NCR and Calabarzon. Therein 5 have watched X-rated movies and videos. The fourth highest in the country, there are 3 in 10 have sent or received sex videos through cell phones or internet. The second highest in the country, 6 in 100 have engaged in phone sex, higher than the national average. So, identified sexual risks that were found among the growing Filipino adolescents are as follows. So, 1 in 3 have sexual experience. They also engage in sex at younger ages. First sex for boys, 17.6 years old, while first sex for girls, 18.1 years old. 1 in 50 had sex before age 15, while 1 in 4 had sex before age 18. 7 in 10 of first premarital sex cases are unprotected against unintended pregnancy and sexual transmission transmitted infections or STI, including HIV, AIDS. 1.2% have paid for sex and 1.3% have received payment for sex. This is low but above the national average level. 6.7% have engaged in casual sex. 4.1%, mostly males, have FUBU experience. 6.3% have males having sex with males or MSM experience. 2.9% of married youth, including those in live-in, have engaged in extramarital sex. So, giving birth at younger age has also been evident in the Filipino youth, such that there is a marked increase in teenage fertility in the past decade. 7.1% age 15 to 19 are already mothers. The proportion of women who began childbearing increases with age. 2.0% age 16 to 31.2% age and 19. Teenage fertility is the lowest among all regions of the country, while prevalence of sexually transmitted infections like HIV and AIDS are increasing in the youth. As of 2013, 86.7% have heard of HIV and AIDS, with poor understanding being the highest in the country. Nothing that 3 in 4 think that they would not get AIDS. So, here are the image of Filipino adolescent, which is adapted from DOH Adolescent Child Aid Manual in 2009. Let's come now for the trouble sign among teens. We have 13 trouble signs. First, sexual promiscuity. It is a having or involving many sexual partners. And here is the example image of sexual promiscuity. And how to prevent it. This is, we have get help early for problems with sexual behavior, seek treatment early for mental health conditions, get help for problems with alcohol and drug use, and avoid risky behaviors. Second trouble sign is regular use of drugs and alcohol. So, when two or more substances are used together or within a short time period, either internationally or unconditionally, the regular use of drugs and alcohol. So, we can prevent it. And here are some tips to avoid it. Avoiding places where you know drugs and alcohol will be able. Surrounding yourself with friends who don't use drugs. Knowing how to resist temptation. Learning how to cope with stress and relax without drugs. And lastly, distracting yourself with activities like exercise or listening to music. The third trouble sign is repeated violations of the law or school regulations. It is a violation that is cited more than once. Ito ay kadalasan na nangyayari dito is the word bullying. So, we can prevent it first to know your school rules. And the fourth trouble sign is running away more than once in 3 months. So, it leads to more problems. There are many situations in our lives that can lead to stress and desperation, and it is entirely normal to want to run away from everything and start a new life. But it doesn't mean that it is the best solution to your cases. Other reasons kids run away include abuse, parents separating or divorcing, or the arrival of a new step-parents, death in the family, birth of a new baby in the family financial worries, kids or parents drinking alcohol or taking drugs, problems at school, peer pressure. So, how we can prevent it? First, stop and think or overthinking, because being an overthinker isn't easy for everyone. Find a solution, because all the problems have a solutions. And remove negative influences. It is negative influences like friends. We need problems hindi lang sa mga bagay na ikakaligaya natin. For the fifth trouble sign is skipping school more than once in 3 months. It is skipping school or some classes hinder students from gaining academic success. For example, is cutting classes because of boring subject, and then some students nag-over the bakod para makapag-skip ng klase. So, as a future teacher, we are going to do these techniques to tackle students skipping classes. First, monitor their attendance, track discipline, and parent communication. And for the sixth trouble sign is aggressive outburst. Many things can trigger anger, including stress, family problems, and financial issues. For some people, anger is caused by an underlying disorder such as alcoholism or depression. Anger itself isn't considered a disorder, but anger is a known symptom of several mental health conditions. Here are some prevention. Practice relaxation techniques, develop new ways of thinking, cognitive restriction, use problem solving, learn ways to improve your communication, change your environment, avoid mood altering substances. For example, the mood of girls na sinasabi nating tinotoyo. For the seventh trouble sign is dark drawings or writings. It is to communicate their feelings through the picture. So, throughout drawing or writing, we can see or we can identify on what they are feelings. Claims that distress and trauma, including sexual abuse. To prevent your feelings, you need to talk to your friends to refresh your mind and your bonding with families. And this eighth trouble sign is deterioration in hygiene. So, here are some signs that are indicative of poor hygiene in yourself or someone else: body odor from not showering regularly, unwashed or disheveled hair, bad breath, food between teeth or signs or tooth decay and gingivitis? How can we prevent bad hygiene problems? Here is the personal hygiene includes cleaning your body every day, washing your hands with soap after going to the toilet, and brushing your teeth twice a day. And for the ninth trouble sign is oppositional behavior. So, oppositional defiant disorder or ODD is a type of behavior disorder. Children with ODD are uncooperative, defiant, and hostile towards peers, parents, teachers, and other authority figures. It is blaming others for their own inappropriate behavior. Irritable mood, use of unkind and hurtful words towards others. Vindictive and malevolent intent in words and actions. Physical aggression towards others and bullying. Lifestyle and home remedies. Recognize and praise your child's positive behavior as close to the time you see them as possible. Model the behavior you want your child to have. Pick your battles and avoid power struggles. Set limits by giving clear instructions and using consistent, reasonable consequences. So for the 10th trouble sign is refusal to work or non-compliance. It is an individual's failure to act within stated boundaries or refusal to comply with such regulations or rules. How to can non-compliance be prevented? Here are the 5 ways to minimize non-compliance. First, start your compliance adherence. At the top, follow good documentation, practice, and invest in automation. Make the policy easy. Make the policy known. And the last one, focus on training. And for the 11th trouble sign is chronic lateness. So, tardiness. Tardiness is the habit of being late or delaying arrival. Being late as a form of misconduct may be formally punishable in various arrangements such as workplace or school, etc. Here are experts' favorite strategies to prevent chronic lateness. First, figure out exactly how long it will take to get somewhere, then build in extra time. Surround yourself with clocks, set lots of alarms, create artificial deadlines. For the 11th one, for the trouble sign is chronic lateness. So, tardiness is the habit of being late or delaying arrival. Being late is a form of misconduct may be formally punishable in various arrangements such as workplace, school, or etc. And here are experts' favorite strategies. First, figure out exactly how long it will take to get somewhere. Then build in extra time. Second, surround yourself with clocks. Third, set lots of alarm. Fourth, create artificial deadlines. For the 12th trouble sign is falling asleep in class, or sleeping in class is generally perceived as of a lack of interest in the subject or teachers. Why do I keep falling asleep during class? Because of the boring, long hours on a job, and here are some conditions that can cause sleepiness. Working at night and sleeping during the day is another. Other causes include drug, alcohol, or cigarette use, lack of physical activity, obesity, and the use of certain medications, but nodding off when you want or need to be awake may also be caused by an underlying condition. So, here are some tips to avoid sleeping in class. First, bring a water bottle to class. Second, sit at the front of the class. Third, be active. Fourth, take deep breaths. Chew gum, bring a snack. Go to bed early. Get some exercise before class. And the last one is keep a good posture. For the 13th trouble sign is changes in physical appearance. So, beyond the growth spurts, other physical changes that happen in both males and females, including body odor, acne, and more body hair. So, how do you take care of your physical appearance? So, getting enough sleep every night can help prevent wrinkles, under eye bags, and other signs of aging. Eating well-rounded, healthy meals, avoiding too much sugar, and doing workouts you enjoy can help you stay strong, and at a healthy weight. So that's all. Thank you so much. May I call on Gabriel Bibigay to discuss those harmful practices.
So, hello everyone. I am Bigay Gabriel B, and I'm going to discuss the harmful practices. So, harmful practices. Culture and tradition play a significant role in shaping the way young people and the adolescents behave and live their lives. However, young people have become victims of some harmful traditional practices which affect their human reproductive rights. These practices differ from place to place but primarily affect women. Common drugs abused by young people and their effects. First, marijuana. Marijuana, also known as cannabis, grass, joints, split, hashish, pot, or weed. Marijuana is a plant grown and used worldwide. Usually, people smoke the leaves, but the leaves and the stem can be made into a tea or even a cookies. The effect vary. You can stay under the influence for about 2 or 3 hours. Some people become relaxed and happy while others feel panic or fear. Users' eyes usually become red and their throat and mouth will become dry. Appetite is by increase. So, this is the effect of the marijuana. Ito yung mag-apekto na. Is the effect. Marijuana cause increase in heart rate and dilation of certain blood vessels in the eyes, which create the characteristic of bloodshot eyes. Chronic bronchial irritation is one of the long-term effects of chronic marijuana use. Second, mayerungi or mayerungi, also known as cat or kahat, kuat or and damira. Mayerungi is the common name of the stimulant leaf that is chewed in much of East Africa. Chewing meringue can help someone feel more awake, confident, and energetic, and can also reduce hunger. In fact, many students use it when cramming for exams. Uy, hindi to katulad ng sa atin ha. Hindi katulad ng anong tawag sa atin? Yung nganga, iba naman yon. Iba yung buyo sa mayroong gi. And this is the effect of mayroong gi. Negative effect includes sleepiness, sleepiness, anxiety, aggressive behavior, and hallucination. Some men are unable to get an erection after they have been chewing. So, ninanganga din, parang kinikisam-kisam. Kumbaga, nginunguya nila. Nginunguya ng nginunguya. And yung effect is, ito na nga, yung sinabi ko. So, third, alcohol. So, alcohol is the most common drug and is used worldwide because it is legal, often kept in the home, and comes in extremely cheap local brew. Alcohol extremely easy to find and consume. At first, alcohol causes relaxation and people feel less and self-conscious. After more alcohol, an individual gets drunk. Time slow down and thinking straight becomes difficult. This is why people who are drinking are often involved in car accident. So kadalasan kasi naman, 'di ba? Kadalasan naman talaga na kapag umiinom din natin maiwasan na ma-drunk tayo sobra. Parang pinanghihina na tayo kapag naiinom. And yun ang kadalasan nagkukos sa mga aksidente. Kaya pag iinom, uwi na, itulog na lang yan. Huwag nang magdadrive pa. So this is the effect of the alcohol. Further drinking can cause over time. Excessive alcohol use can lead to the development of chronic disease and other serious problems, including high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, liver disease, and digestive problems, cancer of the breast, mouth, throat, esophagus, voice box, and liver colon, and rectum. Daming cause ng alcohol, kaya awan ko sa inyo, mag-inom lang kayo. Di joke lang. So, 4. Ito yung pangapat natin is cigarette. Sama na si cigarillos ito. So, cigarette. Or we can call tobacco or tobacco. Tobacco, cigars. Many young people start smoking tobacco or tobacco products of different reasons, including influence of friends, seductive advertisement, and all the role models like siblings or celebrities, to mention a few. Young people find smoking nakala nila kapag pa-cool sa kanila ang pag-i-smoke, but they become addicted to one of the most addictive and dangerous substances, nicotine, which is an active ingredient in tobacco or tobacco. So this is the fifth. This is the effect of the cigarette. Smoking causes cancer, heart disease, stroke, lung disease, diabetes, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or we can call COPD, which include emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Smoking also increase risk for tuberculosis. So alam niyo na, tuberculosis, certain eye disease, and problems of the immune system, including rheumatoid and arteries. Hindi ko alam yung arteries, pero yun yung effect ng cigarettes. 5 is cocaine. Cocaine. So, cocaine, also known as crack, coke, or C, Charlie, nosy candy, toot, or bazooka, big C, old lady, stardust, or cocoa flake. Contains is prepared from coca leaves, which are greenish yellow leaves of different size, different size and appearance. Cocaine is often called the champagne of drugs because of its high cost. And this is the effect of cocaine. Effect of cocaine is vary from person to person. They will depend on the size, weight, and health of the person talking cocaine. Whether they are used to thinking the drug, whether other drugs are present in their body, and of course, the amount of taken. So, kadalasan naman kasi talaga kapag nagagamit ka nito. So, mga nagagamit dito lang naman alam kung ano yung effect. Pero ito daw yung effect niya. Pero alam kong kulang pa naman ito yung mga sinabi ko. And, by the way, the next reporter is Mr. Charlie Escañas Biseño. Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much Mr. Gabriel Bigay. So, good day everyone. I am Charlie Encinas Biseño and today, I will continue the topic of harmful practices. The number 6. The number 6 is heroin. Heroin is also known as hammer, horse, etch, junk, nude, smock, skag, white, beige, white lady, white stuff, joy, powder boy, hairy, Harry, obtained from morphine of comes from the opium poppy plant. Heroin is a drug that slow down the user's body of mind. So, ano bang ibig sabihin ng heroin dito? So, ang heroin is isang gamot or heroin na nagpapabagal sa katawan at isipan ng gumagamit. So, kapag gumamit ka nito is yung isip mo mas ay mapapabagal. Yung katawan mo is magbabagal. Kasama na po dyan yung pag-iisip mo. So, ano bang mga epekto or effects ng heroin na to? So, effects is, when injected, heroin provide an extremely powerful rush and high that usually lasts for between 4 to 6 hours. The effects of heroin include a feeling of well-being, relief from pain, fast physical and psychological dependence, sometimes nausea and vomiting, sleepiness, loss of balance, loss of concentration, and loss of appetite. So, ano bang ibig sabihin ng mga nabanggit ko? So, ang mga epekto po daw nito is ang pinabibilangan ng pakiramdam ng kagalingan. Ginhawa mula sa sakit, mabilis na physical at psychological. Kung minsan ay pagduduwal at pagsusuka, pagkaantok, pagkawala ng balanse, pagkawala ng konsentrasyon at pagkawala ng gana. So, proceed to the number 7. So, number 7 is amphetamines or amphetamines. What is amphetamines? So, amphetamines is also known as speed, ice brown, footballs, hearts, orange, wake ups, black beauties, crystal, meth, crack meth, cat, jeep, jet, dixes, reapers, bennies, browns, greenies, pepils. Amphetamines are stimulants that affects a person's system by speeding up the activity of the brain and giving energy. So, itong amphetamines is nakaka-epekto sa sistema ng tao sa pamamagitan ng pagbilis sa aktibidad ng utak at nagbibigay ng enerhiya. So, alamin naman natin kung ano nga ba yung mga effects ng amphetamines. So, amphetamines can cause an increase in heartbeat, faster breathing, increased blood pressure and body temperature. Sweating make the person more confident and alert, give him or her extra energy, reduce appetite, make it difficult to sleep, and might make the abuser talk more. The person using amphetamines may also feel anxious, irritable, and suffer from panic attacks. Frequent use can produce strong psychological dependence. Large doses can be lethal. So, ayun nga po yung epekto ng amphetamines. Ang epekto daw nito is maaaring magdulot ng pagtaas ng tibok ng puso. Kaya, ang iba ba, di ba may mga na lalaman tayo or nakikinig tayo ng mabilis ng tibok ng puso nila. At isa pa dito is mabilis na paghinga. So parang, alam nyo na, yung mabilis kang huminga ng, yung parang ganon. At isa pa rito is paataasin ang presyo ng dugo at temperatura ng katawan. Pagpapawis, gawing mas kumpiyansa at alerto ang tao. So bigyan siya ng dagdag na enerhiya, bawasan ang gana sa pagkain. So may mga diet gumawa sa pagkain, kumbaga. At isa pa dito is pahirapan ang pagtulog or hindi nakakatulog at maaaring mas makapagsalita ang nag-aabuso. So, ganun pa man is yung mga gumagamit ng amphetamine ay maaari ding makiramdam ng pagkabilasa, pagkairita, at pagdurusa ng mga pag-atake ng sindak. So, the number 8 is ecstasy. So, what is ecstasy? Ecstasy, also known as ecstasy, Adam, Excess, MDM, MDMA, XTC, Eve, MDE, MDEA. Ecstasy belongs to the same group of chemicals are above category that is stimulants and is most often used in the form of tablets at rage parties. Ecstasy is a drug that speeds up the user's system by increasing his or her physical and emotional energy. So, ang ecstasy is isang gamot din na nagpapabilis sa sistema ng mga gumagamit sa pamamagitan ng pagtaas ng kanyang physical at emotional na enerhiya. So, alamin naman natin yung effects ng ecstasy. Ecstasy or effects, a person using ecstasy will probably feel happy, warm, loving, and more energetic. He or she would feel emotionally close to others and might say or do things that he or she usually would not. Nausea and vomiting, rise in blood pressure, heart rate, possibly even death due to the overheating of the body, and dehydration of loss of water are some effects of ecstasy. Feelings of depression and tiredness are common after stopping the drug. There is a mounting evidence that prolonged ecstasy use can lead to brain and liver damage. So, ano ba ibig sabihin nito? Yung ang ecstasy daw po is maaaring maging masayang, mainit, pagmamahal at mas masigla. So, isa ito, ang gumagamit daw nito is maaaring maging masaya, mainit, mapagmahal at mas masigla. So, madarama niya ang emosyonal na malapit sa iba. Yes. So, at maaring sabihin maaring sabihin o gawin ang mga bagay na karaniwang hindi niya gagawin. So, ang pagduduwal at pagsusuka, pagtaas ng presyon ng dugo at tibok ng puso ay posibleng maging kamatayan dahil sa sobrang pag-init ng katawan at dehydration, di ba? O pagkawala ng tubig ay ilang epekto ng ecstasy. So, let's proceed to the number 9. So, the number 9 is inhalants and solvents. So, inhalants and solvents are chemicals that can be inhaled such as glue, gasoline, aerosol, spray, lighter fluid, etc. These are not drugs as such and are in fact legally available from a large number of shops. However, they are abused widely by the poorer section of society, particularly strength youth. Inhalants can look like almost anything: blue paint, thinner, gasoline, lighter fuel, cleaning fluids, etc. So, maaaring maglanghap tulad ng pagdikit ng gasolina, yung mga gasoline, di ba? Aerosol spray, lighter, fluid, at iba pa. So, ang mga maaaring magmukhang halos anumang bagay, katulad ng glue, thinner ng pintura, gasolina, ay mas magaan na gasolina ay mga likido sa paglilinis or liquid sa paglilinis at iba pa. So, alamin natin yung effects ng inhalants and solvents. Ang effects naman po nito is may give the user a high for a very brief, pet him or her, feel numb for a short period of time. These stay confused and throw away. They can also cause head catches, nausea, fainting, accelerated heartbeat, disorientation, and hallucination. They can damage the lungs, kidney, and liver in the long term. They can also cause suffocation, convulsions, and comas. So, maaaring rin silang magdulot ng pananakit ng ulo, pagduduwal, pagkahimatay at pagbilis ng tibok ng puso. Disorientation at guni-guni kung tawagin. Maaari silang makapinsala sa mga baga or sa baga ng tao, bato at liver sa makahabang panahon, at maaari rin silang magdulot ng suffocation, convulsion at coma. Now is the summary. Summary is the developing adolescent is very vulnerable to high-risk taking behavior that can harm their growth and pose threat to their future. Warning signs of a troubled teen should be recognized and managed early on to prevent devastating effects on the growing adolescent. So, mataas na panganib at pag-uugali na maaaring makapinsala sa kanilang paglaki at nagbabanta sa kanilang hinaharap. So, upang maiwasan ang mga mapangwaksak na epekto sa lumalaking kabataan. So, thank you so much for watching, and yun lang po. Thank you.